Okay, I think we're good. Yeah. Sweet. Welcome to the Pine Box, bitches. Welcome. Welcome to the first edition of this thing. Whatever the fuck it is. Don't really know what kind of form it's gonna take or what shape it's really gonna come in. But we're doing it. We're doing it for no reason other than we want to, which is the coolest reason to do anything. So everybody bow down to the overlord known as Tanner. Everybody get on your fucking knees. I have a fan going on in here. I hope it's not like fucking with the mic too much. But it is August. It's hotter than balls, so didn't want to leave the air conditioning running. So yeah, this is being recorded on August 25th, by the way. So some of this, by the time I get this uploaded on YouTube and SoundCloud or wherever else I'm putting it, this might be sort of outdated information. But who gives a shit, ladies and gentlemen? Who gives a fuck? Because this is freeform podcasting. This shit doesn't have to have rules, okay? It's kind of like really the whole reason I wanted to do this is because, there's no fucking rules. And ultimately, some people, I was telling a few people I was going to do a scripted podcast. I was going to write a script, and I did write a script, and I did, we recorded like almost a full, almost a full pilot, and, it just wasn't that funny. To tell you the truth, it just wasn't exactly how I wanted it to be, so, yeah, we're just doing a free-form thing here. Got a couple things to move through. We probably should move through a couple of these subjects pretty quick. I want to mention, the intro song was supposed to be Voodoo Child. It was supposed to be a fucking Jimi Hendrix song. But, we got stuck with this little ditty that I wrote, this little acoustic ditty thing. Sounded cool. It was originally going to be the fucking, it was originally going to be the intro track to the scripted podcast I was doing. But now that that's trashed, well, I really don't know if it's trashed. I mean, I might come back to it. I might revisit it, try to rewrite some stuff. But not in the immediate future. Not for the right now. For right now, what we're going to be doing is me just talking for a long fucking time. And that's probably going to turn a lot of you off. It's probably going to make a lot of you wish you had never heard my voice, and that's perfectly fine. Just X out of the window you're in now and go back to Tumblr or whatever the fuck you do on the internet besides this. So yeah. One thing I do want to mention is Master Mode, September 9th. A lot of people who are listening are probably going to be going to Master Mode, but it's going to be a raucous time. It's going to be at the Slaughterhouse. Let me pull up the address here really quick. I believe it is 11190 Lower Sack Road. And yeah, that's going to be September 9th. It's going to be a fantastic time. Y'all should come out and see some fantastic bands. There's going to be 8 bands playing. Actually 9 bands, because one got added last minute. The person who runs the Slaughterhouse, their little brother's going to be playing a set. So that's cool. My act, totally out of place, one of my acts will be doing a set at the beginning for like 20 minutes. Come by and check us out. Yeah, it's going to be cool times, man. Cheap Shoes is headlining. Fucking local legends Cheap Shoes. Matt from Cheap Shoes actually is really the person who kind of more or less persuaded me to do this rambling that I'm doing now, because, I'm just sick of creating projects and never finishing them, It's like I'll start a song on Tuesday, and, by Friday I'm still playing the same chords, man. Shit does not come easily. You gotta create art just like pretty much anything else. Art's pretty much like I feel like anything else where someone can hold your hand and walk you through like the first couple weeks of it, give you the gist of it, and after that you really just have to like, you know, you gotta figure out what your thing is, man. Especially with music. Especially I feel like with music it's important to find like your voice with it, you know. And if you can't find it, you might not be a musician. You might be a politician. Or a toad. Who knows? You could be anybody you want to be, man. It's a free country, supposedly. So yeah, master mode. Make sure you get your panties in a bunch for that. It's going to be good times. Yeah, good shit, man. Has anybody noticed that there's a big flux right now with the police force? They're shooting lots of dogs. They're really shooting a lot of fucking dogs. And it's really, if you see these fucking videos, it's pretty horrifying. They'll go in, they'll like search somebody's house, they'll come in with a search warrant, you know, they smell someone smoking weed in the backyard or some shit. It's always something stupid. And they come in, search the house, and then a dog, you know, comes and is like trying to protect its family. Essentially what it's doing is trying to protect its family. So it comes up and starts attacking the cop's leg or whatever, and the cop fucking shoots the dog. And I honestly think that should be illegal. I think that, you know, I mean, everybody has to protect themselves. Everybody's got to be safe. I understand. But at the end of the day, man, is shooting a dog... I mean, if you're a cop, if you're a police officer, and you've already been trained in this field where you know a lot of the times when shit gets dangerous, shit gets dicey, you know, shit could happen. People could attack you. Dogs can attack you. You have to have the willpower to sit back and say, okay, I'm not going to put a bullet in this dog's skull. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to try to figure out how to do this without killing a fucking dog. I don't understand, man. I don't understand why people think that's okay. You know? And, there's a lot of this Blue Lives Matter sentiment going around in our country, and, you know, I have my own thoughts on that, but should blue lives matter more than dogs' lives? I don't think so, man. I think that if a family dog gets put down by a cop, that family should have the right to kill that cop. Don't you think so? Don't you think so, America? Land of the free, home of the brave. One thing I also want to mention, anybody who's wondering about the name of this podcast, it's called The Pine Box. Because I am in a band known as Pine and Palm. Almost said Pinus Palm. And I am the Pine in the Pine Box. I'm pretty sure it means coffin. I'm pretty sure that's like a euphemism for a coffin. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's how it works. But yeah, didn't really know what to call it, and just wanted to use something with the name Pine in it, so I went with Pine Box. And I found out that it means coffin, and I was like, that's pretty fitting. It's going to be some grim subject matter, folks. It's going to be lots of talking about death and fucking and drugs. Probably a lot of drug talks, too. Who knows, man? It's the beautiful thing about podcasting. It doesn't have to be about anything. It can be about nothing. It can basically be a podcast about nothing. No one's going to give you any shit for it. You know? Especially not on YouTube. A lot of people... I feel like most of the people who are listening to podcasts are probably listening on... I mean, I listen to most of the podcasts I listen to on Spotify. Kind of check out a few on YouTube. It kind of really depends. But I'm also going to be putting it up on SoundCloud just because I know that a lot of people do have the SoundCloud app. Want to check it out there. Should be fun. If you do have some kind of a platform that I can check out to be putting podcasts up onto, if there's a specific platform you want to hear them on, go ahead and link me down in the comments. Link me anywhere. If you have me on Facebook, link me on my Facebook. Excuse me. Just drank a big cup of coffee, folks. It's not going to be good for either of us. But yeah, most of the shit I do, most of the like music and shit I do through Bandcamp. I used to release songs on SoundCloud, but I don't know. There's just something there's something more that Bandcamp has that, like, SoundCloud feels like, to me, it feels more like for individual tracks, whereas Bandcamp feels more like you can go in and like listen to the whole thing. You know, I don't know. I don't really know. But most of the music shit I do put up, I put on Bandcamp. Didn't really want to do the podcast on there because I don't know a single person that goes on Bandcamp to listen to podcasts. So yeah, YouTube and SoundCloud going to be right now the only places you can get this podcast. So if you are a part of the select few that have access, you are very special. You're a very special person to Overlord Tanner. You have saved me from myself. Yeah. Oh, also, one thing I should mention. 1850 Collective, tonight, Friday, or today is Friday. Friday night, tonight, at B Sharp Music School in Lodi. They're putting on this cool little art show, man. The 1850 Collective, obviously, is a art collective, like, local to Stockton. They're really cool. You should check them out on Instagram, Facebook, all the platforms and shit. But yeah, they're going to be throwing this cool... I guess there's going to be music there, too. And this brewery I live down the street from is going to do some brewskis for y'all. I will be there. Will you be there? I'm actually going to call my buddy Seth right now. He might want to go with me. We'll do this live on the air. Give him a wake-up call for no apparent reason on the podcast. Just to fuck around. Just to fuck around, folks. It's gonna be good shit, man. I think there's gonna be lots of cool exhibits and shit. I think my buddy Arvin is gonna be doing some art there. Should be fun.
What's up?
What's up, Seth? Hey, are you going to the art show tonight? The 1850 Collective art show thing?
Probably not.
Probably not? What a bitch.
Why?
Because it's like right down the street from my house. You should come, man. It's gonna be a cool time.
Cool time?
Yeah, I think they're gonna be having some brewskis and shit.
Let's find out about it.
I just saw it on the 1850 Collective Facebook page.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, you should slide you through if you got nothing to do tonight, Ming.
Alright, so.
Shelly. I'll talk to you later.
Alright.
Peace. Yeah, of course, that was Seth. A lot of you probably will recognize his voice. Plays bass for me in my band, Pine and Palm. He also kind of part-time plays some drums in Totally Out of Place. Kind of just depends. Also has his own band called Mille Aska. And let me tell you something, folks. If you've never heard Mille Aska, they're probably one of the best bands you never heard of. And they hail from Stockton, California, same as me. Check them out on Bandcamp. You can go to mileaska.bandcamp.com. Check them out. They do some cool Fugazi type. I really don't know what to compare them to, because I feel like anything that I do say, you know, people are gonna listen to the music and be like, that doesn't sound anything like what you said. You know, they're just very indescribable, very hard to wrangle in type of music. But that's what I like. It's the kind of shit that I like to listen to, man. So yeah, mileaska.bandcamp.com. Give them a listen. I think they're going to be dropping something here pretty soon, and you can definitely check out their tour they're going to be going on here soon. Check the Facebook page. But yeah, back to 1850 Collective. I do want to just say they have a lot of cool fucking artists. If you dig the shit that you see on their page, definitely go and follow the individual artists. I think they have something like 12 artists or some shit that they do functions with and do projects with and stuff. It's a lot of people. Yeah, but local to Stockton, lots of cool shit. One thing I do want to mention to everybody who drives a Bentley. I don't know many people who do drive Bentleys, but I got the opportunity to ride in one the other day. They are cop magnets. Has anybody else noticed this? Anybody who drives a Bentley? Literally, only time I can remember riding in a Bentley. Don't think I ever have before yesterday. I got pulled over twice. We literally got pulled over by cops twice while in this Bentley, and I think it's probably because they think that's a nice-ass car. There's got to be drugs in it. There's got to be a drug dealer attached to that car somewhere. It looks like a drug dealer's car. So let me know in the comments if you drive a Bentley or have ever ridden in a Bentley. Are they cop magnets? Are they, they attracting the local law enforcement, the local ordnance, the long arm of the local Johnny Law, the big dick of the law being thrust into the ass of your Bentley? If you've ever experienced such a thing, go ahead and let us know. Yeah, cool shit, man. I was thinking about maybe next time, if there is a next time. Again, I really don't know how many of these we're going to do. I don't know what format it's really going to be, but I was thinking about the next thing that we do with it. Maybe having a guest on. Having a little guest podcaster. Possibly someone from... actually, I don't even want to say. I don't even want to say who it might be. I don't want to say who it might be and then have them not be on. Don't want to make any promises that I can't keep. Because that's essentially what I did with the scripted podcasts that I was going to do. Told a lot of people that I would be able to get them on as voice actors and shit, and just scrapped it. As I am wont to do with things, I have a lot of commitment for the things I do want to do, but, things that I don't have a lot of experience in, I try really quick, and I usually get the gist of, any new activity I try. I get the gist of if I'm going to be good at it or not pretty damn quick. I feel like I can pick it up essentially right away if I'm going to be good at the activity or not. What was funny the other day was I saw a drug deal outside of my one of the places that I work. I do work with this record company record store in Stockton occasionally. And I was waiting for a ride. I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for a ride, and I saw a guy pull up in a black SUV, and he sat there for a few minutes. The parking lot is completely empty. Everybody who had done their record shopping, everybody was gone everybody was done. We had pretty much closed up shop, and I was just sitting out there smoking a cigarette, waiting for somebody to pick me up. And guy in a black SUV rolls up, only car in the parking lot. And then a few minutes later, some guy rolls up in like a red Camaro or some shit, red car of some kind. Not a huge car guy, but he rolls up, and they exchange a few words in this empty fucking parking lot. I'm the only person there. They exchange a few words, and, that was pretty much it. It was pretty much the end of the production, and I was like, that had to be a drug deal. There's no other reason. When's the last time you said to your buddy, hey man, could you meet me in the parking lot of, the parking lot of J&D Auto Body? It's abandoned right now. I just want to meet up, talk for a minute, have a few pleasantries, and go about my daily business. When's the last time you ever did that? I can't remember the last time that actually, a couple of my buddies, we did meet up in a church parking lot one time, but that was a few of us. It wasn't just rando dude pulling up in an SUV, I'm rather wary of that. As a drug user myself, I'm very wary of the drug dealings. But it was just funny. It was just really funny watching these people pull up into an empty fucking parking lot, and it's suspicious. It's very sus. Being suspect. Yeah, we're on a roll here, ladies and gentlemen. We are on a roll. One thing I do want to do really quick, if you have not heard of the band Knee Deep, you're in for a treat, because we're going to listen to one of their songs right now. It's probably my favorite Knee Deep song. It's called Winter. So stay tuned. If you stay through the break, we'll get some questions answered. Should be a fun little time, folks. Here's Winter by Knee Deep.
The coldest of winters have now passed, and I am a new man, a man with a gun!
And we are back, folks. Back from the break. Again, that was Winter by Knee Deep. Those guys fucking rock. You can check them out at, I believe their Bandcamp is kneedeep.bandcamp.com. Possibly kneedeep2.bandcamp.com. You can find it on their Facebook. They're really, really fantastic power violence band from Stockton, California. I fucking love those dudes. Thank you so much to them for letting me use their music for my podcast. We just got some weed smoked, ladies and gentlemen. We smoked a little bit of the reefer, a little bit of the devil's lettuce. Did a little bit of a naughty thing there, man. But you know, it's the best plant in the world. It's the best plant that's ever been invented. I firmly believe that. Sorry, one sec, guys. We got to get to these questions. Let me pull up. Essentially what I did last night was when I more or less planned on doing the podcast today. I posted on my Facebook, ask me anything in this thread, and it might get answered in a podcast. And then I reposted it on my Instagram, so there's going to be a couple questions from each. So where to begin, folks? Where to begin with the questions? We got a lot of good ones, actually. I thought people were just going to ask stupid ass, and a lot of them did, and that's fine, because this is a dumb idea to begin with in the first place, so why not have a couple dumb questions to go with it? But yeah, actually a lot of people asked me some pretty insightful questions. If we could just pull them up, god damn it. You know, folks, if you have AT&T, just fucking kill your local AT&T representative. Just kill them. They fucking suck. They've never done anything for me. So yeah, Jesse.Personini asks, what is boofing? I'm pretty sure it's when you do drugs up the butt, dog. Pretty sure that's what boofing is. When you put pills in your ass or something. I don't know. Maybe I should Google that before I go spouting off knowledge. I don't know. I mean, from what I understand, it's doing alcohol or drugs up the ass. Not interested in it, never done it, so I wouldn't know. But thanks for the question. Thank you so much. Tweed Dad on Instagram asks, will Master Mode be the most lit show of Summer 17, and how much experience do I get if I win? That's a great question, Tweedad. Master Mode actually is going to be the most lit show of Summer 17. I don't know how many shows you guys attended over the last couple months, but I have attended a few. They've all been lit. They've all been litty-ass titty. But, you know, Master Mode is just going to be leagues above them all. You know, there's going to be 8 killer-ass bands. We're going to have some shit out front by our friend Anarchy. Gonna hang a huge ANCOM flag behind the bands just to let the haters know that they're not welcome. Yeah, it's gonna be cool shit. Let me list off the lineup really quick here. First off is Totally Out of Place. Second will be an unknown band, but we'll figure that out on the day of. Then after them is gonna be a band called North Shore from Comanche. After them, I believe, is Sloom. They're from Modesto, great dream pop band. Also playing, I would list these off in order, but I really can't remember. But who's going to be playing else is Kill a Whale from Modesto. It's great surf punk. As I mentioned, Cheap Shoes are going to be playing a set. Yugen, also some math rock from Stockton. And yeah, it's gonna be good shit, man. I'm just saying right now, it's gonna be good shit. And how much experience do you get if you win? Let's say 50. You get 50 experience points if you win. And so if you're level 1, I mean, that's gonna be good shit. It's gonna be good. You're gonna need that gear a lot. If you're like level 15, you probably don't need it. You probably don't even need to attend. If you're level 15, you know, and I'm far above level 15. I've actually surpassed to level 26 is where I'm at now. I'm level 26, so I don't really need the 50 experience points, but I'm going to show up anyway, just to coach people, you know, on how to truly be a master. Let's move on. T.Isa asks, how many people does a Tanner swerve if a Tanner swerve could swerve people? That's a great question, Teresa. You know, he would swerve them all. A true Tanner swerve would swerve them all if he could. But unfortunately, he does play in a band, which makes him come into contact with a large quantity of folks. Also needs a job for money. So, got to come in contact with some people every once in a while. But if he could, he would swerve them all. And he has the ability to. He definitely is able to swerve them all. But, you know, not always. Not always. Ben Tope asks, you know Mike from Monsters Inc? If you do, does he wink or does he blink when his eyes excuse me. If you do, does he wink or does he blink when his eye closes? You know, I'm gonna have to go with blink, because if he was winking, I think there's a certain amount of intent that comes along with winking. You have to beforehand kind of know, like, I'm telling this person with my eyeballs that I think they're attractive. You know, I think winking, there has to be intent behind it. Blinking, you know, because he closes his eyes a lot. He closes his eye a lot during that movie. I feel like it's just to wet his eyeball, man. Plus, how could you find anybody that works there at the Monsters Factory attractive? How could you think any of them were attractive? Why would you want to wink at anyone there? There's no other green ball people for him to... I don't know. He doesn't even have a dick. I'm going to go ahead and say he doesn't wink at anybody, because he just doesn't have sexual urges at all. So, we'll go with that. Lexus actually asks, is butter a carb? I think it kind of depends on how much butter you're using. If you're just using a single pat of butter, I don't think it has any grams of carbohydrates. I really should not spout this shit off like I have any knowledge on the culinary arts whatsoever, but basically from what my understanding of it is that the more butter you use, the more carbohydrates it's going to have in it. So if you're using like a tablespoon of butter, it's probably not going to have that many carbohydrates in it. That's the best that I understand it. It's my very plebeian, fucking dumbass, didn't go to college, that's my knowledge of it. Brownstein Blues asks, why hasn't Don Cheadle won an Academy Award? That's a fantastic question, Brownie. Don fucking Cheadle, what hasn't that guy been in? Hamburger Hill. He played a small part in that. He was in I'm pretty sure he did a Marvel movie not too long ago, right? He played someone in Marvel. He plays like some offshoot fucking no-name character. Also fucking, of course, this Miles Davis movie he just made a few years ago. I think it's called Miles Ahead, pretty sure. Just an all-around fucking fantastic actor. Shoot, man, Boogie Nights. This dude's been in everything, man. I'm Googling him right now. Ocean's 11. He was in everything. The fact that he doesn't have an Academy Award it's some serious bullshit, man. We should just kill the Academy. Don Cheadle should just War Machine. That's okay. So he plays a character called War Machine in the Marvel universe. Maybe he should just go in and kill all of them, man. Kill the whole Academy. Fuck them all. Let's see what other questions we got here. Teresa asks, am I funny or am I just high? Probably both. I think you're funny, but you're probably also high. Chubby Space Kitten asks, where do all the lonely people come from? We come from years of neglect, Chubby Space Kitten. We come from years of being forgotten and ultimately disappointing our parents. That's where loneliness comes from. Shit, I think I fucked something up with my... Oh, here we go. Gotcha. Yeah, man. Lonely people just... We come from average American households. That's the sad thing, is that we come from a place that's pretty common. But it just, something doesn't click, and we become lonely. She also asks, why am I still single? Haha! Maybe because you're one of the lonely people. How much chocolate can a human consume before overdosing off of chocolate? Let's Google it. I don't know. I would just provide some bullshit answer like I did for the butter thing, but I really don't know. Let's Google chocolate overdose. I really don't even know if you can... Is there a way for you to... Oh! So... Okay. Well, Forbes says that if you eat 1,200 chocolates on the level of Augustus Gloop from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you could actually overdose on chocolate. Interesting. We learn things every day here on the Pine Box, ladies and gentlemen. It's both an educational and satirical podcast. Let's see what else we got here. See what else we got here. Sam asks, my professor told the class today that capitalism is good, that it's in the same field as anarchy because capitalism supports the free market trade, which equates to freedom, aka anarchy. What do you think about that? And as I commented, Sam, that's a doozy, man. That is a very good question. How to answer this? Well, I guess I'm coming at this from obviously an anarchist, leftist perspective. So if you're conservative, probably not going to like my answer too much, and you're probably not going to like it too much if you're liberal either. And again, this is coming from someone who does not go to college, has never gone to college, and is in general pretty fucking stupid. But here's my analysis of that question. Ultimately, capitalism functions off of private property, right? So one of the basic tenets of capitalism that the U.S. operates under is that you can privately own and operate means of production. You can privately own them. Now, what that does, in most cases in history, actually, I'm going to go ahead and say in all of the cases in history, private property has necessitated a state to defend it, or a police force. Because, I mean, you can obviously just crouch behind your couch with a machine gun and defend your private property just by yourself. But once you accrue, a certain amount of land and wealth and, shit like that, you're gonna need more than one person to defend it. So to keep other people off your private property, you're gonna have some kind of state to enforce the laws, to sue people who come onto your property, or, a police force that boots them out. And honestly, when I think of private property and I think of a police force, I don't think of freedom. I mean, if your professor's an ANCAP and he's, thinking that capitalism ultimately provides the situation for, liberty, just look at the way the U.S. is right now. Basically, when we came to the U.S., it was an anarchist capitalist society, The people who had the most shit, the most stuff, could do the most with that stuff, So I think that ultimately for a society to be truly free, we can't operate under this capitalistic society. And where the free market comes in, I mean, you could, from what I've read about mutualism, I haven't read a whole lot, but from what I've read about it, you can still operate, corporations can still operate under, a free trade kind of libertarian market, but it has to be, for it to be truly equal, I just really think workers have to own their own means of production. I don't think, I don't think that means of production should be privately owned. I think it's too much power for one person to hold. So, I don't know if that answers your question at all. Basically, all I'm saying is that while we have capitalism, we will not have freedom. Sure, the United States looks fantastic, to people who live in it. I mean, we think the U.S. is the greatest because we live here. We don't live in the countries that the U.S. is fucking over, so we don't have to see the ugly end of it, So you can think America is the land of the free, home of the brave, all you want, and you'll probably just be wrong. Kyler asks, is a hot dog a sandwich? I'm gonna go ahead and say no, because a sandwich, I think, has to have two separate pieces of bread, whereas a hot dog bun kind of has like a thin little string of bread that goes between the buns. I feel like that's I think a hot dog's more of just its own thing. I don't think it might be related to the sandwich. Who knows? Who really knows, man? And I believe that is all the questions we had. Yeah, it's going to be about all the questions we have. So, thank you everybody for joining us for this first episode of this thing that might get continued, might not. We don't really know yet. Yeah, thanks for joining us for the Pine Box. And we'll give you lots of hugs and kisses on the way out. Sleep tight.